Hello everyone, Bridget Casey with Bridget Casey Designs for ScrapbookPal.com. Today we're going to be working with this gorgeous Avery Elle layered holiday truck set, perfect for winter. Here are the supplies we're going to be using: lots of oxides and some Nuvo embellishment mousse in Snowstorm. The stencil I will show you again. I did show that pretty quick. It's the Starry Sky Stencil from Lawn Fawn. So I'm starting with a piece of gray cardstock. It's like a pale gray. It kind of matches my Snowstorm Nuvo embellishment mousse there. And so we're starting with that. And I've got my stencil on there. I did tape this one down. And then I'm going in with a Nuvo blending sponge. I had never used these before, but they work quite well. I was very impressed. My goal here for this project, or these projects, because there's two, I wanted to show you different ways to use the embellishment mousse. So you get a nice thin layer with the blending sponge from Nuvo. I'm sure there are other ones that ScrapbookPal.com carries that you could use as well. But this gives you a nice thin layer, and it's just glistening and pretty. Now I'm going in, I'm going to put my stencil and I'm just going to hold it in place, which don't do that. Take the time to tape your stencil, because I end up chasing my embellishment mousse a little bit, and yeah, you'll see me kind of chasing the mousse and then I get big chunks of it, but I end up using all of it. So that's okay as long as you use it. You can always put it back in a container after. You do want to make sure that you cover the embellishment mousse with something so that it does not dry out. So I'm applying with a palette knife here, and this is going to give me that dimension. It's going to give me chunky bits poking up from where my stencil was. So while on the other one, I kind of got flat areas, this one is dimension, 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 and that's what I'm going for. So in just a second, we're going to have the reveal. Ah, ta-da! That's my favorite part. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp out our truck, which is B1, B2, B3, and B4. So for B1, we're going to use Broken China Distress Oxide. And I use the oxides because they're nice and creamy, and I thought they'd give me a good result stamping. For B2, I'm going to use the Faded Jeans Distress Oxide ink. I love this combo together. So pretty, just so pretty. Now we're going to come in for B3 with Black Soot for the wheels and the trim, which I'm a little close to the edge, as you can see. And then Pumice Stone is B4, and that's going to give us the highlight in our wheels and highlights on our trim. So it came out so cute. And now I'm going to put my die on and go, oh goodness. So I did think for a minute, I'm like, can I just leave it on the paper and do something? Or so move your truck up. So now we're going to head over to our trees, and we're going to do C1 and D1. So there's a nice chunky big tree and a little tree. So for the greens, we're using Salvaged Patina, Evergreen Bough, and Pine Needles. This was my first go using this Salvaged Patina. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Such a pretty color. And I randomly picked these ink colors, and I ended up really loving the trio that I picked. So I just looked at my ink pads on the wall, and I was like, yep, sure, why not? Let's try it. So try that in your space and see what you come up with. So for the pinks, we're going to go with Spun Sugar, Kitsch Flamingo, and Picked Raspberry. Again, just picked 3 pinks, and they randomly went together. This pink combo kind of looks like a good pink camo combo. Say that 5 times fast. If you kind of like that. I'm not really a pink camo kind of gal, but if you do, file that away in the back of your head, just, in case you need a good pink camo combo. Now we're going to head over to C2 and D2 for our layers, and we will be going to Evergreen Bough and Kitsch Flamingo. I really will definitely use these color combos again, and I think these color combos would be fun to mix and match, so maybe putting the pink over on the green. I made 6 cards with this set, like getting ready for this video, I was so inspired by this set. I just loved it. So I had to pick 2 out of the 6 cards that I made to share with you. And these were the 2 that I just loved. And I really wanted to show you and there is C3 and D3, which are pine needles and picked raspberry. I just really wanted to show you how to kind of use some things in your space a little differently. The embellishment mousse to extend the life and really get more out of it so it works for you, because that's what you want your supplies to do in your crafty spaces. You want these supplies to work for you. Now, there is a guide on Avery Elle if you have difficulty in lining anything up, but it's super easy to line up. It's one of those, I kind of call it an abstract set. If you're a scotch off, it's okay. It's not obvious. It's not apparent. It's a Christmas tree. It's okay. So it's a fun set. You don't have to worry about lining anything up. Perfect. So we went ahead and we heat embossed with white embossing powder our sentiment. And I was just showing you how I use the lines on that mat there to line stuff up. Now it's time to get the foam squares out, and we're just going to put foam squares on the pink trees, and then the green trees we're going to leave alone. So we're getting all of our foam squares put on there. I could have used the big ones, but do you guys go through the big ones more and you always end up with like tons of little dimensionals? Does that happen to you all out there too in TV land? Because that happens to me frequently. So you'll see me use the little ones a lot in situations like this because of that. So I'm lining it up with just the top of the vellum. I don't want it to go behind the vellum. I want it to sit just right over the edge. And then, so I'm tucking in the green trees flat and then the pink trees. So here I'm going to put my green tree because I know it's going to go right over on the edge. So I can put that one over there, and then I can kind of put my pink tree. And then I'm like, okay, let me check just to make sure. Is that, what is it? Measure twice, cut once. So I don't have to rip up my card front. I didn't want to ruin my embellishment mousse. So that one you could see I had some dimension. This one is more of just, and I'm just folding over the vellum. I'm sorry, it's a scotch off there. You can see I'm just folding it over. So I have my sentiment on there. But you can see on this one, I didn't get as much dimension. It's still gorgeous, but it looks like a snowfall. And it's just, you can see that metallic shimmer and shine, and it's just so pretty. So my idea for this was, these folks, I liked this card layout. I really did like this, and I liked it more after I saw it in the film. I didn't like it so much when I was making it, which is why I changed it. But now I really do like this one and probably will make it again, this layout. But my idea was, wait a minute. No, they've got their tree and they're leaving the tree farm. So they've, we'll put some trees behind them. They're driving off. They have their perfect tree. They're taking home with them and they're driving away. So that was my thought process on this this card. We all have ideas when we make our cards. We're like, oh, this is what's happening, especially when there are images like this. I hope this video has inspired you to pick up the Avery Elle Layered Holiday Truck Set from ScrapbookPal.com. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the ScrapbookPal.com channel. You don't want to miss one single project. Until next time, happy crafting.